Imagine a room filled with crying babies. Parents are rocking them, singing, trying everything. Then you notice something strange. One corner is almost silent. The Japanese babies. Why? At first, researchers thought it was culture. Others blamed genetics. Some even believed Japanese babies were simply calmer by nature. They were wrong. The real answer had nothing to do with the babies. It had everything to do with what happened before they cried. And one scientific experiment changed the way researchers understood infant comfort forever. Here's what almost every video about this topic gets wrong. It skips straight to a tidy two-word philosophy and a viral statistic, without checking what the actual researchers found. We're going back to the real studies, the real numbers, and the one detail almost nobody mentions, the detail that matters more than any cultural secret. Quick gut check first. When your baby finally falls asleep in your arms, how long do you wait before laying them down? Most people guess a minute or two. The real number is longer, and it's the difference between a sleeping baby and one who wakes up screaming 20 seconds later. That 20-second wake-up isn't bad luck. It's a measurable timing error, and it has a name. In 2022, neuroscientist Kumi Kuroda's team at Japan's Riken Center for Brain Science studied 21 infants using ECG monitors that tracked heart rate to the second. Each baby was tested under 4 conditions: carried by a walking mother, held by a sitting mother, placed in a still crib, or placed in a rocking cot. Crying infants calmed within 30 seconds under one specific condition, and the result was more precise than carrying works. Here's the detail every retelling leaves out. Walking calmed the babies, but so did the rocking cot. Almost as well, with no human involved at all. It wasn't a maternal secret. It was a response to motion itself, something scientists call the transport response. And it isn't unique to humans or to Japan. Kuroda's team had already seen it in mice. A mother mouse picks up a distressed pup, starts walking, and the pup's heart rate drops instantly. If a machine with no warmth and no bond to the baby produces a similar effect, the Japanese mothers have a secret. Framing doesn't hold up. The part that actually deserved to go viral was what happened next. Babies often woke up the instant they were laid down, and the researchers traced it to one overlooked variable: how long the baby had already been asleep before being put down. Babies who'd slept less than 8 minutes woke up again almost immediately. So Kuroda's team proposed a specific protocol: about 5 minutes of walking, then 5 to 8 minutes of stillness before attempting to lay the baby down. That's the number competitor videos skip, because wait 8 minutes is harder to dramatize than ancient secret. A mother named Hana, in a parent forum where this protocol spread after the study made headlines, described trying it almost by accident. Her son woke up every time she set him in the crib for nearly 2 weeks straight. She started timing it: 5 minutes walking, then a slow count to 8 minutes of stillness before lowering him down. The wake-ups didn't stop completely, but they dropped sharply within days. What changed wasn't her bond with her baby. It was one number nobody had told her: 8 minutes, not 30 seconds. If you want more breakdowns like this, where we check the actual study instead of the 3-sentence summary, subscribing is the way to see them. There's still a popular claim about colic statistics left to correct, and it changes how you read every "Japanese babies cry less" headline after this. Now to the part most videos lead with, the so-called two-word secret, ame and mimamoru. Mimamoru combines mi, to watch, and memoru, to guard or protect. And in actual child development research, it's studied overwhelmingly with toddlers and preschoolers, not newborns. The core idea is watching from a slight distance and deliberately not intervening, letting a child work through a problem on their own. That's stepping back, not anticipating every cry before it happens. Amai was introduced in 1971 by psychiatrist Takeo Doi in his book, The Anatomy of Dependence, describing something broader than infant care: the desire, across a person's whole life, to depend on someone else's goodwill without asking directly. Dewey was describing adult relationships and social bonds as much as parenting, the same dynamic in a child begging for a treat. and in adult friendships or workplace hierarchies. Stretching a general theory of dependence into a specific claim about why newborns cry less skips the part where the concept was never built to explain infant physiology. That brings us to the statistic almost every version repeats, that Japanese babies cry the least in the world, from a University of Warwick study. The Real 2017 meta-analysis, led by psychologist Dieter Wolke, pooled data from 8,690 infants across 28 studies and found colic rates lowest in Denmark and Japan, with colic affecting up to a quarter of infants generally in the first 6 weeks, before dropping sharply by 10 to 12 weeks. Lowest colic rates is real. An exact dramatic two-country gap is not what the published data shows, and Wolke's team said the reasons behind the country differences remain unclear, not settled. Denmark has no famous "anticipate the cry" philosophy attached to it, yet it shows the same low colic pattern as Japan. Two very different cultures landing in the same place isn't a Japanese secret. It could be reporting differences, feeding patterns, or unmeasured variables entirely. So here's what survives contact with the real research. Stripped of the mystical packaging, the transport response is real. Motion calms a distressed infant, whether it comes from a walking parent or a rocking cot, so use whichever one is available at 3 a.m. The 8-minute rule is real and almost never mentioned. Wait that long in stillness before laying your baby down, not 30 seconds. Mimamoru means stepping back with toddlers, not anticipating every infant cry. And a May was never a parenting technique to begin with. None of this requires being Japanese, owning a sling, or co-sleeping. It requires 3 numbers most videos never give you: 30 seconds, 5 minutes, and 8. Skip the idea that calm babies come from a secret 2-word philosophy. What's actually proven is narrower and more useful. Motion calms a crying infant, human or mechanical, and waiting 8 minutes before laying them down prevents the instant re-wake almost every exhausted parent has lived through. The real secret was never a culture, it was a stopwatch. Next time, we're taking the same approach to sleep regressions, another topic with a real study buried under viral myths. Not professional advice. Consult a qualified expert as needed.